Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for Ready to Love, season 10, episode 2. And they are calling this We Got Some Chocolate, y'all. I guess that's appropriate because we coming off of Valentine's Day. And maybe some of y'all got some chocolate, but Ready to Love on TV is ready to tell you we got some chocolate for y'all. They rolled out the chocolate in this episode. And you know what? I was happy to see it. I know they had us going last episode when they introduced us to Will. We was like, nope, he ain't it. They was talking to us about Naeem with the 5 kids and 3 baby mamas. They were showing us Sahara. We was like, Sahara, what is this? Section 8? We were really like, this ain't going to be it. But this week, they seemed to really step up their game. And they brought us some really quality professional people. I don't know. First shift. That's what I'm going to call y'all. First shift from episode number 1. They trying to tell y'all something that they put you in group 1 because group 2 seemed a whole lot better than group 1. I ain't going to lie. A whole lot better. But we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the group. We got another firefighter. Are they trying to say the firefighter from episode 1 is going to hook up with the firefighter from episode 2? Probably not. We definitely got some more eye candy going on. We got Tay, who looks like she going to have her pick of the litter. I always find this interesting. I always find a woman who's got a lot of choices. This is Tay. Right now, Tay has a lot of choices. Let's see what she does with her choices. Will she pick right? Will she play her cards right? Or will we find out during this season that the reason Tay ain't found her man is because she got a bad picker and she picked the wrong man? I don't know. Let's see. That's going to be really interesting to see. And then we see the person who thought she was going to be on top was on the bottom, Coley. She darn near went home. She went home and Sahara, who says she ain't as dry as the Sahara, got to live another day. But poor Will went home. So there's a lot to talk about, y'all. So I hope you stick around. Let me go ahead and play my intro and be sure during the intro you guys like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment down below so I can read how y'all like the review and how you like the episode. See you in a minute. So the first person we got to see was Coley. Coley is 32 years old. She's a flight attendant. And yes, she lives in the clouds. She a flight attendant. She lives in the cloud. Coley, she ain't got much sense. I don't know what's in between these 2 ears, but it looked like it might be a whole lot of air. A whole lot of air. Maybe she lives too long up in that high altitude. I don't know if that's done something with her. She came in here talking about people tell her that she's intimidating to men. What? Girl, who you going to intimidate? If you are intimidated by Coley, because what? I don't know. She's too accomplished. Her conversation's too intellectual. If you were intimidated by Coley, you must be a 4-year-old. That's the only way you could be intimidated by Coley, because other than that, really, you wouldn't be intimidated. You would feel a little bit sorry for her. Because she keeps saying nothing lasts, nothing lasts. Men must be intimidated by you. Right now, Coley, the vibes I'm getting from you are that you're unaware. You really think it's everybody else's fault. But girl, you got a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do. In the very end, Coley was on the bottom. She was on the bottom. She almost went home. Tommy was like, you on the bottom, you going to go home. But I'm going to give you another chance. Do you want another chance? And Coley said, I don't need no other chance. I'm from Philly. If you don't want me, that's fine. If you don't want me, I can pack my bags and I can go, because I'm not going to sit here and beg and plead for y'all to like me. She pulled a Sahara. She almost really pulled a Sahara, because remember last week, Sahara was over there talking about how I ain't got nothing for all y'all people. But then this episode, she was begging and pleading and hoping she was going to put on the bottom. She sure made an attitude turn around. Sahara went from F all y'all to over here darn near begging and pleading for these people to make sure she don't go home. But she did enough to make it. She did enough so that she wasn't on the bottom. And a Coley who says she intimidates everybody, she was the only one on the bottom. But once Coley figured out that there were a whole nother 8 people who they hadn't even met, and that she too could have a second opportunity, Coley said, that's good, I'll take it. At first I said no. At first I was going to let my pride and my ego get the best of me. I was going to poke out my chest because I'm a girl from Philly. But after I came down from the clouds and all the pressure the pressure in the cabin, when I'm a flight attendant, started to dissipate, I start to realize, I better think a little bit more about this. And yeah, Tommy, I'll go ahead and take another chance at these guys. So we're going to get to see Coley again next week. Hopefully she can have a turnaround like Sahara did. Sahara flopped on the first time out and she came back strong and she wasn't on the bottom. So who knows? Maybe Coley can do the same thing. Let's hope. Let's hope, Coley. We also got to meet Fritz. Fritz is a wealth management analyst. All righty then, Fritz. We all need a little bit of advice on how to manage our wealth or how to get some wealth. One of the two. But he said he's not that typical pseudo alpha male. He said, I'm not like that. I'm looking for a deep connection with a woman. I like to travel. I'm going to need a woman who's going to want to travel with me, travel around the world. I just came back from Italy, from Rome. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I was going to go to, was he the one that went to Italy or Rome? I can't remember. He said he was supposed to be somewhere else right now. And I think he said he was supposed to be in a whole nother country, Panama or something. I might be mixing the people up, but he said, it was no big thing to let that little trip go to waste. I think it was Tay asking him, did he have some trip insurance? He was like, I don't need no trip insurance. I got money. I'm a wealth manager. I know how to manage my wealth. So he got to meet Tay, and right off the bat, he said, let me call my mama because I got to tell my mama that I just met her future daughter-in-law. He is in love already. He's like, this is just the woman I want because she is beautiful. She looked like she got it all together. She got a good career. She's a nurse anesthetist. I know she make a whole lot of money. I barely can say the name of it, but I know anything got the word anesthesia in it, I know you make a lot of money. Anything that got the word anesthesia in it, you make a lot of money. And so Fritz was like, I can help her manage her wealth. But Tay said she wanted a man with muscles and that's tall. And I don't think Fritz got muscles and he's tall. I was still looking for Fritz's neck because I didn't see too much of a neck either. But I like Fritz. I really do like him. But when they were asking who's on your top, who's on your bottom, unfortunately, I didn't hear Tay mention Fritz. So it looks like, I wonder if Fritz is going to stay stuck on Tay too long before he realizes he may not be Tay's cup of tea. But Tay said she ready to walk around and go, my man, my man, my man, my man. Y'all young people with this phrase, my man, my man, my man, my man, y'all killing me. You are really killing me out here. And she says, but she's ready to graduate from my man, my man, my man to my husband, my husband, my husband. Let's hope so. Let's hope you graduate to my husband and not my husband. Because all this could go left. All this could go really, really, really left. But she says she's ready to meet her person. I like Tay. All the men were impressed with Tay. That dress, her legs, her look, her vibe, everything. They liked everything about Tay. I sure hope, Tay, you don't disappoint, girl. Come on through, girl, because we want to see a woman with the pick of the litter, because that's what we're going to say about you, Tay. You got the pick of the litter. Let's see what you do with it. Let's see. Don't fumble the bag. Do not fumble the bag. We got Cam walking in here. He's Coley over here asking him dumbass questions about, do you really slide down a pole? Do the firemen really have Dalmatians in their firehouse? Cam was over here talking about, no, we don't even have dogs. We have cats now. We don't even have dogs. She goes, oh, is that because you have to rescue so many of them in a tree? Girl, you really do live in the clouds. You really do live in the clouds. Kim said, not interested. Next. Not interested in her at all. Then we got to meet Rocky. Rocky is some kind of medical specialist. She also talked about she write poetry, and she got a whole lot of tattoos. And she likes to wear the dresses so she can show all of her tattoos. She got a lot of tattoos. Then that blonde hair with the tattoos. I don't know. She says she likes grown men with a beard. Then she started talking later on, talking about for a while she had to leave the chocolate and going over to the white chocolate. She was with the dark chocolate and went to the white chocolate. I guess she's biracial. And first she said, I'm going to lean towards the dark chocolate. But now I had to go back to the white chocolate. Now she back to the dark chocolate. I don't know. With that hair, though, maybe you need to go from the blonde to a brunette or something. I don't know. Because Rocky, the blonde hair with the pale skin, with the short dress, and all the tattoos, it wasn't good, Rocky. Rocky was given, ooh, girl, I don't want to say what it was given. Really, I don't want to say what it's given because it's really bad. But if any of you are from California or LA, and there's a street in California called Figueroa, y'all know what I'm talking about. Rocky, her whole look was given Figueroa. I'm not gonna say nothing else because if y'all ain't from LA, y'all don't need to know what I'm talking about. But that was giving me Figueroa, and I don't want it to get Figueroa because so far Rocky seems like a nice young lady. She was loud though. Anytime a joke was told, you could who's back there laughing so loud? Then you look, all of a sudden it was Rocky laughing loud. Okay, Rocky. But you know what? Who she had a connection with? She had a connection with Khalil. Is his name Khalil? Is that how you pronounce it? Khalil's 36 too. And he and Rocky hit it off from day one. So it really don't matter if I don't like Rocky's look, because as long as Khalil likes it, that's all that's gonna matter. And for it looked like Khalil liked everything about Rocky. He said he talked to Rocky so long that he didn't even get to talk to the other ladies. And he says that's why he thinks he was on the bottom. He was on the bottom too this week. He was on the bottom this week. And he said, he talked to her so long and didn't get to know the other ladies. He thinks that might be why he was on the bottom. But he didn't have to worry. He wasn't going home. He didn't go home because you know who went home? Will. Will went home because Will came back with the same old bad jokes. Bad jokes. Will's jokes were so bad that even Coley knew they were bad jokes. Let me tell you, when you on the same page with Coley, you know something is wrong. And Will's jokes were so bad that even the ladies in the second group said, nah, you ain't it. Now we know why Will got married so fast to those women, because Will, he gonna need a little bit of help, some professional help, a professional dating coach. I know I do, counseling and advice about different things, but I can't help Khalil. I mostly do women. Not Khalil, Will. Will needs to go talk to another man and figure out what's going on with him. And maybe all these women married him fast because they were just so excited. A man maybe asked them to marry him. And then when they got married, they realized that these bad jokes going to just keep on coming for the rest of their lives. And they were like, we're not trying to do this forever and ever. We need to end this, because I tell you, Will needs some help, y'all. Will needs some help. He might can get some help from Francisco from Puerto Rico. Francisco from Puerto Rico works for the housing authority. And he said, I'm hot. Do you mind if I take my shirt off so I can show you all these muscles? I don't think he was trying to brag. I think he really was hot because the sweat was dripping down his face. When was they filming this in Philly? In the dead of the heat? They probably made them run up them rocky stairs, and then next thing you know, everybody was sweating. Ready to Love always filming outdoors in the heat. Every season, folks are sweating, filming Ready to Love. Can we get no good conditions of filming? This is torture, Ready to Love. Y'all need to do better. Why can't you film indoors? What is the problem with filming indoors when y'all filming in the middle of the summer? But Cisco took that shirt off and he said, look at all what I'm working with. I guess it's supposed to be one of the first eye candies we're going to get. And He says all he really likes to do is pray and work on his physical appearance, work out. That's it. He says, I want to pray and I want to work on my physical appearance. And later on, he get to meet Tay as well. And he in love with Tay too. In love with Tay already. They end up having this conversation. And Francisco admits that in his past, he's done some cheating. He's done some cheating. And it sure did trigger Tay. It triggered her because the last relationship she was in, I guess that guy cheated. So she was triggered. And Cisco saw it right away. He said, oh my goodness, I don't want to trigger you. I saw all the emotion leave your face, but I don't want to scare you. I want to let you know that the past is the past. I'm not that new man anymore. And all I do now is pray and work out. And so I don't want you to hold that against me. And you know what Tay did? Tay forgave him already. She was like, give me a hug. Girl, I hope you don't have no bad judgment, Tay. I really hope you don't have no bad judgment. I'm not going to say that Francisco, you should say no to him. But girl, the way you look past it so fast and went right from looking at him out the side of your eye to give me a hug. I was like, dang, girl, that was easy. That was easy for you to just believe what he said and move on. So like I said, I got to keep my eye on Tay's decision making since I know she got the pick of the litter. But you know who Cisco wasn't really feeling? He wasn't feeling Shanice. Because they had a little sit down too. And I think Shanice was kind of feeling them. But Shanice talks about how she is, she runs a residential rehabilitation center. Like I said, where is Fritz so he can manage some of this wealth? Because she another one that got some money. I'm telling you, you running residential facilities, girl, I know you making some money. Hand over fist. And she said she busy all the time, always working. She an entrepreneur, serial. She look like she's Jamaican. Is she Jamaican? She sound like she's Jamaican. She got about 20 jobs and she want to let you know she Jamaican through and through. This is what I'm thinking. So maybe that's why she also liked Francisco, because he was Latino and maybe she got that little Caribbean vibe going on. But either she was Jamaican or maybe she was Haitian, one of the two. But she said she's serial entrepreneur. She was definitely talking about her work a lot. And everyone was turned off by that. I mean, I know Shanice was trying to sexy it up with the outfit she had on. I could tell when I first saw her, before I even knew what she was doing, I was saying Shanice is trying to maybe present someone different than who she is. And I immediately thought Shanice actually is a serious person, but she wants to come in here making men think she's a little bit more playful, because the outfit she had on was definitely trying to say, oh, I'm playful, I'm sexy, I'm this and I'm that. But I could just tell by her demeanor, she was really buttoned up. I was like, girl, this is kind of weird. But once I heard her speak, she's a serious woman. She is about her business. She's serious and she's about her business. So they told her she was on the bottom too. She was on the bottom with Coley. And they told her, we don't really want to know all about your 10 businesses. That's fine, girl, that you make a lot of money, you got a good job and all the other kind of stuff. And but we want to know about you as a person, and you were leading with all of your accomplishments. So Shanice got to stay, and I really hope she takes the advice to heart, because I liked her. I really did like her. But I did agree with the gentleman that she was leading with the wrong part of herself. And even though she has a lot of jobs, she could have just mentioned one. You ain't got to dump all the jobs on the people at one time. You could just pick one. Which is the one you like the most? Which is the one that makes you the most money, where you earn most of your living? So when someone says, what do you do? Even if you do 10 things, don't list more than 2 people. Dating tip number 1. If you do more than 2 things, stop at 2. And then if the relationship progresses, then you can tell them about the other things. But when you list everything you're doing, it's a bit overwhelming. And then I'm wondering, why are you telling me all this? I didn't need to know all this. Now I'm looking at you sideways. Why you got to tell me all this? Give me 1 or 2 to start with so we can just start there. But we got to meet Hussein. He's 42. He too was liking Tay. Hussein, I'm telling you, everybody liked Tay. Hussein liked Tay a lot. He was really into interior design. He's 6'7". He's in a visual design, a visual manager. And he also liked Rose. Rose was another part. They bonded over that, about the fact that Rose liked to do interior design, and she showed him a couple of her projects and a little bit of her work, and he was like, "Oh, I'm impressed with that." So not only does Hussein like Tay, he also liked Rose. And Rose is 38. She's a hairstylist. And she said she's ready to be a wife. She said, "I know what I want to do." She a social butterfly, because she was going around saying hi to everybody. And she said, "I'm not one of them women walking around talking about I don't need a man." She goes, "Oh no, I need a man, because every time I get ready to reach for something off the top shelf, she want to say, 'My man, my man, my man, my man. Can you get that off the top shelf?'" She said she only 5'2". So I think she liked Hussein too, because he was tall. And she says she goes around and tells everyone right off the bat, "Hey, are you okay with being with a woman who has a child?" Because she has a child. I think she said she had the child when she was 21 years old. So she's 38. So it's not like she got a baby. He will be 17. And good thing about having your children early, unless you're going to have some more roles at 38. I don't know if you want to have more children. Good thing about having them early, shoot, you still young. You can go out here and have a good old time now. You done raising kids. Well, almost. Nowadays, these kids be living at home till they 30. Can you get rid of them? Can you get rid of the kids anymore? Probably not. But Will came back in the picture. They gave him a second chance. What for? Because he didn't do nothing but fumble it anyway. He's over here talking about, "Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I know I can score a touchdown again." And we give him the ball, and then he fumbled it. Bye, Will. He over here talking about he don't want a woman that's too serious, because if he get a woman that's too serious, that's not going to vibe well with him. Well, you know what? You're not serious enough. He ain't serious enough. So he went home. And Tommy, let me tell you something, Tommy. You didn't have to do to Will what you did to him. When Will was going home for the second time around, a second time loser, they should have just let Will keep his dignity and gone home. But no, not Tommy. Tommy had to out the man and say, "Just let y'all know, you're not the first time that said no. You're not the first set of people to say no to Will. Will got rejected in the last episode too." Dang, Tommy. I was like, he better not say that to Sahara, because if he lets the cat out the bag that Sahara was on the bottom too, he gonna get a different response. Because let me tell you, like I said, Section 8 folks, if you try to evict them, they gonna fight back. Other people, they may just go and get another apartment. Not Section 8 people. If you was gonna try to do that to Sahara, she was gonna have some words for you, Tommy. So I was glad you didn't knock on her door too and try to out her. But Tommy, that was wrong. That was wrong for you to out Will like that. I know you came on here and you told everybody on this show, this second group, hey, put all your independence in the past. We want you guys to be interdependent on each other. We want you to make some connections, go through this life, not trying to do things all on your own. And when Coley was on the bottom, they really didn't like her either, because they said she was more interested in watching Tommy than talking to the other man. Where's Tommy's wife? She better come on here and check on Tommy on set. Maybe that's why he gave Coley a second chance. I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing though. But so far we are seeing that Khalil and Rocky, like I said, they had a good conversation. Khalil told us a good, well, not a good story. It's a sad story about how he lost his brother. They all have a family roofing business, and they lost his brother. That was kind of sad. He teared up. So he said, "You know what? Losing somebody close to you in your life makes you realize how short life is." And he don't want to go out this world not having been in love. He said he likes to travel. He been to Africa and Tanzania, and he wants to continue to travel, and he needs somebody to travel with. There you go. I know a lot of people want somebody who wants to travel. Let me give you a little tip. Don't just ask people, do they like to travel? Because who's going to say no? Have you ever met a person that says, "Oh, do you like to travel?" "No, I don't like to go nowhere." No one is ever going to tell you that. But one thing you ought to do, if you meet someone who likes to travel, you need to ask them where they traveled to. Let me see your passport. Let me see what stamps are in your passport. Tell me what stamps. Because travel is different these days. Some people want to just travel to New York. Florida, Las Vegas, Texas. And some of people want to travel to Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana. So when you talk about travel, make sure you asking the right type of travel, because do you want just domestic travel or international travel? Because if all you want to do is travel domestically, then you may not be suited for a man like Khalil. Khalil says, I want my passport stamped. That's what he wants. He tried to talk to Shanice about traveling, but Shanice was probably talking about she got too many doggone jobs. She can't afford to travel. And when I say afford, not the money, she can't afford the time. She got group homes, trunking companies. She got an app business. Girl, you doing way too much. You doing way too much. Coley over here still telling dumb jokes. She should have been with Will talking about when she first came to Philadelphia. She was like, what's all this pollution dropping from the air? And then all of a sudden she realized it was snow. Girl, Coley, who is intimidated by you? Really, I'm serious. I really want to know who are all these people who are intimidated by you, because I can't think of one person who would be. And if, like I said, if they are intimidated by you, they've got to be a minor, a minor. No adults. It's got to be a minor. When Tay and Cisco were talking and hitting it off, he was like, you ever dated a Puerto Rican? She said no, and he was like, oh, well, what's that supposed to be, Francisco? I ain't never dated no Puerto Rican either. I've been there. What are you trying to say about Puerto Ricans? Are you hard to handle? Are you a lot to deal with? Because what he was saying was basically, you may not be ready to date no Puerto Rican. He said the last relationship he was in was 3.5 years ago. Tay said she just got out of one 1.5 years ago. And he said that the reason why they broke up, he and his girlfriend, was because she was jealous. She said that even if he went to get a haircut, the woman would get jealous. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe women are just jealous to be jealous. I think that oftentimes, men are also feeding their jealousy. Now, could a person be naturally jealous? Yes, I do. So let me correct myself. I do believe people can be naturally jealous. But I think what happens if you're just a naturally jealous person, sometimes your partner either feeds that jealousy, sometimes, or you end up feeling more comfortable with that person as time goes on. So when he tells us he was with a person and the person was always jealous just because of him, he was going to get a haircut, in my mind, my first instinct is that's not the whole story. It's just not the whole story. I don't believe it. That's why I said to Tay, girl, the way you believed his story so fast and was like, give me a hug. Right now, and I'm leaning to you have the pick of the litter, but you picked the wrong man. That's just what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. That's one thing I like about the season. It's going to be a long season, and I'm going to get to figure out whether or not I'm wrong. But right now, my instincts are telling me about Cisco that you better keep one good eye on him. Keep one good eye on him. Cam, the firefighter, said he wants kids too. He's 33. He said he's never dated a woman with a kid. So when he was, meeting up with Rose, he said, it's not normally what I like. He said, but right now, all of a sudden, his baby fever done kicked in. All of a sudden now, he ready for the white picket fence, the baby, everything like that. They started talking about religion, and Rose started talking about she wanted a spiritual man, but she didn't care about what his spirituality was. What? She was like, he just got to believe in something. What if he believes what if he believes that dogs are the king of the world? That's a belief. You don't care about the belief. You just want him to believe in something. I don't know, Rose. That kind of made me go, huh? Like Scooby-Doo. I was like, what you talking about? I don't know. But basically, Cam told her, hey, you know what? I grew up in a really religious family, and I'm not really about that anymore. When she said, well, do you believe in the power of prayer? And he goes, it depends on to whom. That's your answer, Rose. The answer is no. So Rose picked up on it. She said, oh, no, Cam is on her bottom. On her bottom. She said, I can't be with no man that don't have no spirituality, which is fine, Rose. But I do think you need to define. I don't think you should be saying, I don't care what their belief is, just as long as they got one. That's way too broad. When you come out saying that almost makes me think, well, are your beliefs real beliefs? Because I'm like, I don't know. If you have such a strong belief in spirituality, whatever yours is, you can really just get with a person who believes that dogs are the king of the world. That means you do have some criteria. It's okay to have criteria. So I don't know why she don't really want to just say it. But it was a little odd. It was a little odd. But it wasn't as odd as Sahara walking around talking about the earth is flat. Girl. Poor Sahara. Fritz was trying to be nice. He was like, it's not a red flag, but it's an orange one. Fritz, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. The earth is flat. Sahara, Sahara, Sahara. Let's not repeat that again, Sahara. Let's let that notion die here on this season of Ready Love. Don't go out there and do that, girl. Do not go out there and do it. Hussein basically says she's shallow and immature. Shallow and immature. But like I said, when it came down to it and Tommy had to gather everybody up and say, well, who do you like, who you don't like? Fritz was like, he loved Tay. Did you see that dress? That's going to be my baby mama. And Cisco was Tay Tay, Tay 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 all day long. How you say that in Spanish, Frisco? Tay Tay? How you say it in Spanish? Tay Tay? I guess it's the same translation. Hussein was, he liked Rose. Cam was saying he liked Rose, I think, but Rose don't like Cam. Rocky was definitely into Khalil, and Khalil was into Rocky. And Tay said she liked Fritz too. I guess I had it wrong. I'm looking at my notes now. Tay did like Fritz. Shanice liked Fritz. I know Shanice liked Fritz because Fritz is a wealth manager. And Shanice said, I got a lot of wealth that's going to need to be managed. Coley liked Hussein. Rocky was liking Khalil and Cam, and Sahara liked Cam as well. So it looked like Cam has got a lot of thumbs up too. A lot of thumbs up. But in the end, it was Coley who was on the bottom, Shanice on the bottom. They both got to live another day, another episode. And Sahara was happy. She was absolutely happy. She was not going home. And Coley got a chance to put all that pride and ego to the back and to the side and say, okay, I'm willing to do another round to see if there are any other men that I might like. So there we are. Let's see if she can redeem herself next week. But that's all I got, y'all. That's all we got for this episode. I will see y'all next week. Talk to you later. Bye.